makes no sense.
Do I have a chance to hit this
Peed
marijuana
and
bone?
pooped and
No.
peed and pooped. Had 2 pieces of chicken. I'm now eating cake. Let the dogs out.
Well, hey
Not
guys.
in that order.
I'm assuming you. Oh God, why do I even?
I don't know either. It's just crazy. Every
type of
time,
show.
Jet is just doing some crazy Jet adventure.
Jet is weird and evil, and no one listens to me.
She's not
Nor
as
should
evil
they.
as you are. You're way more
I
evil.
am not way more evil. She is like I am like lawfully neutral.
I think I say
I
I'm
was
a waffle.
talking about how I
What?
peed and pooped and ate some chicken, then peed and pooped again, then let the dogs out and got my piece of cake,
Who?
but then
Who?
also pooped again. And
That's
now I'm
how
back.
are you a bird?
What?
Yeah?
The amount of times you pooped and the
Are
time you were
a
gone.
bird? You running away.
You calling
Okay.
me a bird,
Thank
bitch,
you.
Alan?
Yeah,
You call me a bird?
yeah.
Alan's out here
Because
calling
the
you a
fact that you've
chicken
been
head
gone
and
for
shit,
less than
Jet.
half an hour and you managed to poop and pee multiple
No,
times.
not chicken head. You're out here calling me a bird, Alan?
Yeah.
Bark, bark, chicken, bark.
Out
Wow,
here clucking
Alan.
and pooping and shit. Clucking and pooping.
God damn, dude. I don't know what the fuck. Why do we start like this?
Also, I became aware that I'm probably the only one in this call who actually knows what I mean by bird.
Hollow man, I am fully
Yeah.
lawful. I follow every word of the letter. I respect law and order.
You don't even know how to spell law.
Blue lives matter, Hollow man.
I don't know why, but like I know you just hit a screen name, but it still sounds like you're trying to make some kind of joke. Like, yeah, Hollow Man. It's like, is this a comic book or something? I don't know. Here's the thing: we did start the show, and right away Ganjo was saying, "Hey, can I take another hit?" Ganjo, you know you're gonna take another hit. Why are you even fucking asking me?
I thought I had a chance to fuck with you before we went on air, but then I clicked one of the streams and I realized I got caught right next to the chicken tenders.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever the fuck she said she was eating that involved fried chicken.
She just said chicken.
didn't even
You
say
just
fried
added
chicken.
your own shit to it.
Didn't even say.
Didn't she
fried
say
chicken.
coleslaw? Did she have some shrimp too?
No.
I know she was talking about some Cajun fries.
Welcome to the
earlier.
stereotype chat attack.
Oh,
Well, damn, I was eating fried chicken, but I didn't say that.
God.
No, that.
Hey, pretend it's like one of those fucking game shows, all right? I just guessed the right answer.
Are we about to like?
no, you
start
did it
off-
actually. You started making shit up.
This is actually
Alan,
the beginning of
You
the
calm
list
down
that
with your
Ganja's starting.
falafel.
This is the beginning of a list of things that Ganja says about black women. They don't like to have anal sex. And when they're eating chicken, it's definitely fried.
All right, that second one is totally fucking wrong, and I apologize if it offends anyone. But the
Wait, that
first
second one?
that first one, I will defend because I've heard that shit.
Oh my God! You're just
From
why you
other
keep going
black
down.
women who, of course, are going to say something about men doing anal, especially back then when they weren't using lube. It hurt.
Oh my god!
Not only did he double down on the show, as soon as the recording ended, he fucking tripled down, and now he's just fucking going full on in.
Hey, I learned from my president, all right?
So, Donald Trump's not a
In
black
your
woman.
presence. Is it Christmas?
What?
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Damn right in the middle of my watermelon.
Someone
Holy
mute his
shit.
mic. There's
Oh
no
shit!
fucking.
In this situation, actually, no, I'm making him joke because then I was like, "Oh, I can mute him. I'm gonna do it right now."
Mute him.
Jesus Christ! People,
You
yeah, welcome to the
cannot
chat
censor
back.
me.
Talking
And Hollow Man, that's
is
fucked up.
So crazy. It's so.
Oh, that's fucked up. Not what you said. Okay.
And then before we start this, I'm just gonna call it out too, since we're all gonna make fun of Ganja right now.
Yep.
The whole time we're talking about like what we're gonna talk about on the show, these trailers. Obviously, we're gonna be watching the Kingsman prequel fucking thing, Kingsman, I guess it's called. This dude straight up says like, "Yeah, man, I'm watching trailer to Klansman. Yeah, it's really good." Like, I don't know, like he's just talking about Klansman. I'm like, wait, what? Klansman? Like,
I don't know why, just the way it looks, because we have the same kind of lettering as Double Toasted, so when it's close together in the Google Docs, it looked like the I was like an L. So I just quickly read that as Klansman and just clicked the trailer.
Nah,
And that's,
don't
I was just giggling to myself, and I end up actually fucking up and saying, "Yeah, I'm just watching the trailer to Klansman," and that just started a whole.
Okay,
thing.
Ganja. I'm reading the fucking docs right now. There's no A in that word, man.
I put what I wanted there. I said I fucked
Do
up.
you know how to read?
No,
You
but
cannot prosecute those who admit to guilt. God damn it!
Do you know how to read?
he did admit to it though.
No, because he does this all the fucking time. When we used to do the Untitled Video Game Show and I used to write the doc, he used to put stupid spaces in between every fucking line and would sometimes fuck up the entire doc because he couldn't fucking see what was going on.
Yeah. I still stick by that. But when it comes to like me fucking up, I've done that like repeatedly. I will never forget the one for the Untitled Video Game Show. I think we were playing Donkey Kong World, and I forgot what it was. Like, do you remember what the actual level was called?
Yeah, Jungle Japes.
I read that as jungle chaps. And that just started a whole thing. And I apologize firmly for that.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
I spit it on my desk a little bit. No,
It's like
you don't
jungle what?
motherfucking-
What did you just call it?
I was like, yeah, it said jungle chaps, right? And then I think it was Eddie Hendricks in the Facebook chat was like, it said the jungle whatever, bro. ...
Jungle
That's probably one of the biggest fuck ups we ever did on the show.
Oh no! Yeah, that's awesome. In the worst ways fucking possible.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Max goes, you guys are weird. Why am I friends with y'all? I don't know, honestly. I don't even know why I'm friends with these guys, man.
Oh,
They're so immature.
Daddy's name.
They're so immature in comparison to how I am. You know what I mean?
You're the most immature.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Oh, come on. You
Well,
don't even
I'm
love
here
us.
all
Like, I think it is actually to like make Alan upset with my eating choices. Like me drinking this monster and eating chocolate cake at the same time.
That is
Ugh.
egregious.
Okay,
as
there,
fuck.
Kyle. Go, Kylie.
That is some Kylie shit.
Did you just call her Kyle?
Yeah, but then I realized she's a girl, so Kylie.
I support
You
this.
just
Kylie.
realized she's a girl.
Look, Jet's weird.
That's who?
I don't gender discriminate like you do.
Honestly, genders are non-binary, but I think she identifies as a woman.
Oh, you probably know what the fuck that means.
That's
Jen
who?
taught you that shit.
I identify as Jet.
I said I think. This is based off my own.
Yeah, and I say you don't.
Yeah, I say you shouldn't.
I'm a highly intelligent creature. Someone call me damn
You're
near
not.
sentient.
We've established this so far.
Oh shit! I still got a pepper from Popeyes.
I don't know. I'm so smart. I just stand for those monkeys
Look,
that
let's
first
get
realized
through
they could throw
Jet's
shit.
meal so far. She's a monster with cake and a chili pepper.
This has been the craziest start to any show we've ever. It's like fuck the topics. It's just like what the fuck are we even doing here?
Are you having a crisis over there, sir?
A little bit.
Oh
To be
my.
honest, most of the time, because all of our shit's nerdy shit. I'm not a nerd like these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So it's
You're
like I
the
hate
biggest
doing this.
You guys ever like eat like chocolate, then you're just like, damn, like this chocolate's good, but I need to eat something else with. Then just be able to go like, you know what? I need some pickles.
I'm gonna stop you there now.
I don't think
I'm
anyone's
just, gonna,
ever said
I'm just
that.
gonna say something to Max in the chat real quick. Don't tease me like that.
Wait, what's he saying?
He says I identify as a communist. Don't you tease me like that. Don't
Oh,
you give me
don't-
blue balls.
Yeah, no, don't.
No,
you
he
do that.
identified as communist, which means he's the entire embodiment of communism.
Oh, damn. Okay. That's some next level shit, sir.
He's actually just Marks.
I'm literally looking at pickles and chocolate, and
Why?
Dude,
Don't
That's
give her
the thing.
power.
no,
And I kind of want to see what it looks like.
no, dude,
Oh.
you don't.
No, that's actually a thing.
Show the picture.
Look, it looks like
Yeah.
you stuck that shit up your ass.
Oh.
That looks disgusting.
That is the nastiest shit I have ever seen.
You couldn't pay me enough to eat that.
Look
You
at
try
that.
to
Dude.
hit that
Look at his
surprise
face.
anal.
The chocolate doesn't look that bad.
Dude, look at him. He's just like, what the fuck? This is fucking disgusting.
I refuse to ever fucking eat pickles,
Why?
let alone chocolate covered pickles.
Oh, look at this, dude. God.
Here,
damn,
dip it in
it's
dog
disgusting.
shit and eat it.
That, Jed, you gotta be honest, okay? I know you.
Oh,
you
damn.
say-
That was. I don't know why, but the hard one makes me feel nasty.
Yeah.
Cause like it's just gonna be this like little hot chocolate clumps that are gonna fall in your mouth with like the taste of pickles. Oh, fuck that.
That's gross. First of all, pickles are disgusting on their own. Let's
Yeah,
get that right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like chocolate covered pickles. Like that's you can't mix sweet and like weirdly bitter sour.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Jed,
can.
I'm gonna be honest, Jed. When we're in Florida, you
Sour
start doing
Patch
shit.
Kids.
Sour Patch Kids don't taste like pickles, you psychopath.
You
And
said
they don't taste like
sour-
chocolate for sure.
Yeah, it's a different kind of sweet.
I'm
Plus,
sorry,
they
I
start off
completely
sour,
know
then
what
go
you're
sweet.
saying. I just really want some Sour Patch Kids.
So do I. They're delicious, but I don't want them chocolate covered.
But the thing is, you could actually eat pickles with like hot sauce though, and those are actually more normal and like a lot like really good.
That's slightly more normal. I'll even give you that. I think pickles are fucking gross, but people eat them. Hey.
Yeah, like if you get like a nice like hot pickle or sour pickle and then put like hot sauce on it, it's actually pretty good.
Oh my god. Anyways, what we're gonna be doing now, people? We're gonna go ahead and start talking about topics and not disgusting pickles that look like they were fucking used for anal sex. So here's one thing, and I almost
What's
do
up?
not
Don't
give a fuck
discriminate.
about this.
Don't discriminate anal sex until you had it.
Oh my god, please.
Give him the strap, Jet.
Someone shut the fuck up. So here's the thing. Taika Waititi.
Taquito.
Did I say that right?
Look, Fuck Boys is fucking directing Thor 4.
There you go. Yes, Thor 4. Here's the thing, man. I thought we were about to lead into Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't know why the fuck that we're gonna get more Thor. We're about to get to a point now where we've seen Thor just as much times as we've seen Tony Stark, which is not a good fucking. That's not good. That's not a good
Actually, no,
ratio.
because Tony Stark was in a lot of those fucking movies. Sadly.
No,
he was
not really, because he was in his first 3, then the Avengers. So right now they're tied. Iron Man is in one
Spider-Man.
more. Well, yeah, he's only in the first. He's only in Homecoming, so it's like, so technically Iron Man is, yeah. If he gets a 4th movie, they're even.
As being in Far From Home, because that movie revolved around his ass.
Yeah, but they barely. Did they ever actually show a picture of Tony Stark in Far
I'm
From
about
Home?
to give some points to Jet real quick. I hate to interrupt down because this is something she's predicted from the beginning, and I've kind of agreed with her. So, all right, you know why they're doing a Thor 4, right?
Why?
It's instead of doing a Guardians of the Galaxy like just by themselves and have Thor in it, it's gonna be Thor, whatever number or whatever title they got, and it's gonna be the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
No,
That's
because they're
how
doing a
it's-
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it's gonna go into. It's gonna have his small adventure with them, and then it's gonna lead into Guardians of the Galaxy 3 when the whole crew's back together.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's still bad.
Because it strongly hints at that then end game.
Oh yeah, what he strongly hits. It straight says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
I mean, at the
I
end
mean,
of the
I'm already annoyed.
Yeah, no, because I fucking at this point, like, I don't hate Thor Ragnarok as much as I hate Guardians 2, but I still think that it really neuters all the characters. It turns them into laughing stocks, and it reduces any chance you have of trying to tell a serious, interesting story with these characters to just make them comic props and it might as well be a parody movie.
I don't know. I think Endgame did that rather than
But Thor was
Ragnarok.
Thor was up there, like, because Guardians was the worst, but Thor, like, Ragnarok really just makes everything, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Because when you see Infinity War is a great portrayal of like, except for what the Hulk, but like Thor in Infinity War is great. It's a great portrayal. They managed to get the seriousness of the character down. They managed to get him a little bit more joke with his cockiness. But Infinity War, not Endgame. Infinity War managed to do a lot of good stuff with it. Endgame fucks him up and just turns him right back to fucking how he was in Thor Ragnarok. And it's like, I really don't like this director's portrayal of this character. I don't think he gets Thor at all.
I hate serious Thor. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. I loved how I was.
You
in
prefer
Thor
joking
Ragnarok.
Thor?
Oh, I love fucking joking Thor and Thor Ragnarok because he actually was pretty split on how he was because he still does care about the Asgardians and stuff like that, and having him realize that he didn't need his hammer to actually be worthy. That was great. And then all of a sudden, when you get to the beginning of Infinity War with all that bullshit and taking away all the characterization that he had in Thor Ragnarok, that actually made me angry.
No,
Like,
'cause that's actually more annoying than in Thor Ragnarok to get rid of the fucking hammer. That is one of his most important iconic things. That's literally the reason Iron Man 3 was trash. Because, like, well, Iron Man doesn't need his armor. He's just as good outside of it. No. That's
Iron Man. Iron Man's already trash. With Thor, it actually made him better in Thor Ragnarok because he had cool lightning powers. But then they decided to take that away and make
2
like,
seconds.
oh, this awesome ass lightning power. I guess you don't need that shit anymore.
that is true.
But again, they took away one of his most important features, and one of the things that defined him as an iconic character was the hammer. The hammer is one of the most important parts of his mythology, and they got rid of it. It's like getting rid of Captain America's shield. It's like getting rid of Iron Man's suit.
And they wrote it pretty good.
It's like giving
why they got
Punisher
rid of
his
it.
logo at the end of the fucking season, but you were cool with that shenanigans.
Because it was a well-written show with actual characters. Thor
Suck
2.
it.
No,
You
here's
go
the biggest
fuck
part.
yourself.
See, here's the thing that I can't stand about Thor 2, and just like how you said with Captain America, it's like Tony Stark, and this is why, including Jet. Sorry, I'm like fucking fighting with everybody, but like Jet, this situation too, where you don't like Tony Stark, it's like Tony Stark himself is a character, and then Iron Man's almost like another character on top of it. You get like so much diverse and like dimensional
I will
dynamics to
say
this
this
character.
over and over
Meanwhile-
again. All Iron Man does, all Tony Stark does, is make villains. He has not done anything else.
So, okay, I disagree with that, but let's just say you're right. Let's just say, okay, you know what? Yeah, absolutely.
You
you're right.
disagree with that? How many villains has he made so far?
Anyways, let's just say that happened.
Every
that
single
question.
villain that Iron Man and Spider-Man have gone up against is somebody that Iron Man fucked over.
True. But here's the thing, though. And by the way, Spider-Man only has, like, what, 2 movies?
Also,
And both of them were fucked over by Tony Stark.
Count in the thousands,
Yeah,
by the way.
2 movies, by the way, Alan, versus the entire
So we have
universe of
100%
Spider-Man.
of Spider-Man movies that have...
Yeah, that's a fault of Spider-Man. That's not a fault of Tony Stark. That's
No, it's not. None of the villains that Spider-Man has gone up against are the fault of Spider-Man.
No, but I know, but if you will let me finish, you'll be able to understand where I'm coming from. It's like, no, it's because of these movies being weak. That's the problem. Like that's why I don't like the current Spider-Man universe thing, like with Far From Home and fucking. I mean, I'm not counting Spider-Verse because that's actually good, versus this other shit. And I'm not even saying I hate Homecoming or Far From Home. There's things I like about both of them.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those situations, though, where it's like, come up with something. Don't just say, oh, hey, guys. So, like, dude, the movie starts off explaining more Endgame shit. Endgame's gone. It's done. Fucking Far From Home starts off. Far From Home starts off with more Thanos shit. The guy's fucking dead.
Okay, but you have to acknowledge it. That's my biggest problem with Homecoming. Is it tries to acknowledge the Endgame shit and then forgets about it. It literally just brings it up for 5 minutes and never talks. Look, the shit from Endgame, the universe like basically like fucking coming to a halt and half the population disappearing, never gets brought up again. It never has any impact further on the story after that stupid 5-minute fucking like children's fucking YouTube video.
But even with the set too, is like it's funny because you just fucked up and said it was Homecoming, but it's like that's another thing though, is that it's so hard to decipher which is what, and it's easy to fuck up because even the titles are the same. Even the titles, it's like my god, like it's so just the same shit. So it's not a fault of Tony Stark. That's like, oh man, he ruined all these franchises. No, you have the option as a director, as a filmmaker, to make something fucking better and to do something different and be creative. What'd you say?
As a goddamn American, you have a duty to do this.
Sorry, I want to acknowledge something in the chat that has been going on in both the Steam chat and the Facebook chat. That this idea that because there's comedy in it.
The Steam chat?
You said the Steam chat.
Sorry, Twitch and Facebook. My bad. I'm gonna kick my momentum in the nuts right before I begin. But this is something that's really, really bothering me, is because people are basically saying, "Oh, you hate to have fun. What's wrong with comedy and superhero movies?" Yeah, I'm calling out people directly. I don't give a fuck. I don't have a problem with comedy and stuff. Take something like Spider-Verse, for example, that actually does a good blend of that, but that has serious storytelling. The comedy should not undercut a serious moment. That's what's happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was happening in Thor and Guardians, is the comedy is undercutting any serious moments that the characters can have.
To be completely fair, we got serious Thor in the first 2 movies, and those were some doggy doo-doo.
Okay, so what? We should never try again? Well, hey, Joel Schumacher did Batman. Let's never do Batman again.
And it did. It did.
No, that's the thing. It's like I'm okay with jokey Thor because it's so bad. It's like, okay, fine, fuck it. He's gonna be bad. We'll just do some stupid comedy. But Hulk was serious and he was good. There was nothing wrong with how they're doing Hulk.
There wasn't.
Like, honestly, like Hulk's always been portrayed as like very stupid in like the way he talks too.
No, he hasn't. He's been portrayed as a monster.
I've been seeing the cartoons. He's been portrayed as an idiot.
That's
like
different.
Throughout.
That's completely different.
Cartoons, again, because a lot of the Marvel cartoons.
I mean, the cartoons have been around way longer than the movies have. I'm just saying. I'd rather go with them than the goddamn movies.
And the cartoons tend to not portray the character properly. You look towards the comics and see how he's been portrayed. He gets portrayed as a monster because he is a monster. But this idea that we have to have 100%, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a comedy first, and then it is a whatever genre it needs to be on top of it. That's my fucking problem. Like think of it's not like a movie first. It's not a movie first. It's a comedy first. So all the stupid shit that happens in any fucking comedy, American Pie, all those fucking garbage comedies, and then whatever genre it needs to be. It's either a crime thriller, it's a revenge story, it's whatever the fuck. But the foundation of the movies are comedy, and that's my problem. Spider-Verse is honestly one of my favorite at this point, it's my favorite Spider-Man movie because it does have a lot of comedy. You have Spider-Ham in it, for fuck's sake. But the comedy never undercuts the seriousness of the actual thing. Yeah. The conversation, that Amazing Spider-Man, and he's played off as a pathetic joke the first time you see him. When he's having that conversation with Miles, and Miles goes, "Hey, with great power comes great responsibility," and he cuts him off and goes, "Don't you fucking say that to me." That was not undercut by some sort of joke. That was a serious fucking moment that the movie fucking earns. You see the pain in Spider-Man, who's sick of hearing that bullshit because it's ruined his fucking life. But then you see the joy in Miles saying it because he gets to be like his hero. You don't get that moment in any of the Spider-Man movies. You get undercut by Peter Tingle or somebody farting or somebody in the bathroom taking a shit. It undercuts any moment that the movies could have.
It goes back to even like, and this is genre, I like horror movies. But it's like people will look at horror movies and they'll be like, yeah, that shit's silly, that shit's stupid, whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, I can't argue with them at a certain point because like Freddy Krueger or Jason, whatever the fuck, has become like mockeries of what they are. Or even Child's Play. Look at that, how dumb that shit's gone. But then like with superhero movies, and this is where I come from, where I don't like this shit, I'll make fun of somebody like Alan, say, oh, like here's you and your fucking underoos, yay, Spider-Man, go! And I'm making fun of him. But at least he gets to say, hey, man, listen, these movies are actually good. They're well made or whatever. Then a movie like Far From Home comes around and says, no, Nick, I agree. It's some stupid shit. Peter Tingle. Like, this is fucking stupid, guys.
It's telling me it's literally telling me I'm stupid for caring about Spider-Man and actually wanting a serious story. And don't fucking tell me. I know half of y'all yell at me, telling me I'm wrong. Don't fucking yell at me and tell me that I'm fucking wrong when including me, love Spider-Man PS4, which manages to do everything fucking right with Spider-Man, from his interpretation to how mature the character is, to the actual under how the comedy is used to release attention, because that's what the character is based on. It has great moments, it has great character moments, it has deep moments, and it has funny moments, and nothing overpowers anything else.
I mean, that's a video game. They have time to flesh him out.
They have time to flesh him out. You're right. You're 100% correct. But there's never a moment in which something is undercut. And don't tell me that you can't do it in a fucking movie. I'm so sick of this mediocrity that we're just willing to accept.
I mean, you can, but like, once again, like Thor 1 and 2, like they did that route and it sucked, and they did a route that actually worked and it actually was funny. Well, also, it did have serious moments. While there was more comedy, there was serious moments in that movie.
But there are moments that get... Sorry, go ahead.
Like, the reason Marvel uses comedy is because, like, yeah, it works. Like, do you want to see the other example of stuff where they basically have their more serious moments over their humorous moments?
Look, I'm sorry, but the DCU is not an example of the only way to do something serious.
Look at them right over there.
No, okay, no. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I hear the perfect example with the only difference is you have one CGI character for Mark Ruffalo, but in Thor Ragnarok, when they had a situation in which Banner goes back to, Hulk goes back to being Banner, and he's kind of freaking out, going, "Hey, if I turn into the Hulk again, I could fucking die." And he's trying to talk to Thor. Thor's like, "Don't worry about it. Ha, you're my buddy. I don't give a fuck." Like, he's laughing at the fact that this guy's basically saying, "I could fucking die." And he's like, "Don't worry about it. I don't give a fuck about you. I just need the Hulk. Hey, go Hulk up." And it's like, what are you doing? Your friend, the person you've been working with, is telling you he might die and you don't give a fuck because you just want to use him and you're playing it off as a joke. Whereas you go to Infinity War and Thor is at the lowest point he is because he's literally lost everything, and Rocket Raccoon comes up and talks to him, and you see that situation of Thor where it's like he's on the verge of tears, but he's able to kind of hold it together, and he's trying to almost like bring up a little bit of humor just to kind of keep himself like stable and focused. Like, those two conversations are so drastically different because one is taking time with actual good actors, good dialogue, and good setup, and one is just played off as a stupid joke because who fucking cares?
But even, and I'm glad you brought that too, because even with Infinity War, there is tons of jokes in there, and it is a very funny movie, while still never disrespecting the foundation that the movie's built on. It's like, you can make parts, like even Hulk is kind of scared of Thanos, and some people...
I'm just saying, you like, it pretty much disrespected Thor Ragnarok a lot by basically tearing away all of Thor's actual character development that he had in that movie. That basically, like, this director actually had to work to actually get from those last two shitty movies. So I'm just saying.
Like the Russo brothers, though.
You don't ignored the fucking last two movies and pretended they didn't happen, and they started making things up. Okay, but just because...
So basically, he saved Thor from being completely terrible, and then, Russo's...
Then Russo's actually made a character that worked. The DCU... Thor 1 and 2 and the DCU are not the only ways you can make a serious fucking movie. There are ways we can fucking do it within the Marvel Universe itself. Winter Soldier is a serious as fuck movie. But why do we only have one or two? Why do we only have one Winter Soldier movie? Why don't we have a bunch of Winter Soldier movies?
Okay, well, no, I disagree with that.
Winter Soldier is, I'm not saying exactly like Winter Soldier, but the same idea, the same tone, the same gravitas and respect that they gave to the character in Winter Soldier, we don't see in almost any other trilogy.
I have a feeling that you're trying to make a lot of these a Dark Knight-esque kind of thing.
I'm not, because I did not bring up the Dark Knight once in this discussion.
Well, I mean, that's
I didn't bring up the DC in that.
The only reason I bring it up is because we all use different, like, that's how we grow up. We all use different cultural references for things we enjoy and things we come in contact as we get older. And I feel like why you have such a high standard in films when it comes to superhero films, that you're not letting the comedy slide within these. Because honestly, I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate, and it's something I've noticed. But because I think you got used to the Dark Knight as this pinnacle, you know it can be done seriously, so you hold all these films accountable, even if when the film isn't trying to do that. Honestly, I don't think the Marvel Universe is trying to be a Dark Knight-esque, and the closest you are going to get is with, Winter Soldier, and maybe with some of the spin-off movies now they're trying to develop that goes back to whatever the next phase is, phase 212 for all I care. But I think you're judging something that's not trying to be, and I get why some people are mad. Like JP in the chat is saying, like, "Oh my God, you're resisting the comedy," because the movie is trying to. It's mostly focused on the comedy by putting a little bit of the drama, a little bit of the seriousness in there as a way to keep it somewhat grounded, so it can do more with the comedy rather than actually be serious.
Now, see, on that, That's another thing I wanted to touch on too, because comedy can work, like you said. I've watched The Tick. The Tick is just jokes, and it's fine on Amazon, and I recommend anyone watch that. But like The Tick will end off like, okay, there's this bad guy, but we're still having a good time, and he high fives and he jokes around. And there's other side characters that are having fun. With Far From Home, I'm watching something that's like, Peter has his moment where he's crying, thinking about Tony Stark, and then wait, Tony Stark's a badass, trying to play some AC/DC because older fucking white men love that shit, right? Then, like with Thor Ragnarok or Endgame, I'm having fun. There's a bit where Hulk is trying to eat a sandwich, or no, somebody else trying to eat a sandwich, and Hulk grabs it, whatever the fuck. And it's like, oh, that's funny. And then the movie's like, wait, hold on. Man, Thanos, he really destroyed everything. Huh? Our families are dead. I'm like, wait, I was laughing. I was having fun. What the fuck was that? Am I watching the same movie? Did you guys just change the fucking channels? Having a good time. Like, I mean, Far From Home. Oh my god. Spider-Man and Jake Gyllenhaal, and they're fucking over Spider-Man, and Spider-Man, the great power and great responsibility, blah, 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 all this stuff. Peter Tingle. I was like, oh my god. The Spidey sense is a huge part of this character. It's already dumb, but I tried my best. I'm like, you know what? No, it's serious. Yes. Storylines. Yes, serious. And you're telling me, the movie's literally sitting me down saying, listen, I know you care, and that's cool and everything, but what you're watching is stupid. So now, don't care about anything else we're going to do in this movie, even though we're going to have a sad crying scene and shit like that later on, too. It's like, no, you fucked up your foundation. You can't tell me to expect this when you just told me that everything's bullshit with your stupid Spidey Tingle thing. Or Peter Tingle. It's fucking dumb.
And the thing is, it's like, again, I didn't bring up The Dark Knight specifically because I don't think every movie needs to be like The Dark Knight. I don't want every movie to be like The Dark Knight. But it's less of a movie. It's more of just, I know that there's potential to be amazing because again, I love most of the Phase 1 movies. I love Captain America 1, Thor 1, Iron Man 1, The Incredible Hulk. I love almost every single thing in Phase 1. Phase 2, I'm not even a fan of because I felt like they didn't really know what the fuck they were doing. But like Avengers 1, I still fucking love that movie. That movie is fucking great, and the movie does everything well. It's a fun superhero movie that never takes away. My problem is when the comedy isn't used to alleviate stress, it's used to undercut a moment. I hate when comedy is used to undercut a moment because it's like, well, then why the fuck do I care? Why the fuck should I care about anything that happens in this movie if it's just a joke with no consequences?
Like even Ragnarok, and this is why I bring this up all the time, but it's like when Hulk turns into Hulk, we're supposed to go, oh shit, it's Hulk, fuck yeah, time to whip some ass. When the whole movie is just making jokes, and then like, and by the way too, when he turns into Hulk, like you said earlier, the whole storyline of like, hey, if I turn to Hulk again, I might die. Well, when he finally turns into Hulk, and Thor's making jokes, and everyone's making jokes about it, when he turns into Hulk, I'm just like, oh yeah, of course, whatever. I mean, it would have been so much more like, oh shit, he's turning into him. What's gonna happen? They brought that up for a reason. He might die here. Nope, I don't feel that way because it's clearly a joke. It's just a fucking dumb action scene. It's just stupidity.
Yeah. And they did it better in the first fucking Avengers movie when he fucking falls down when Loki attacks Hawkeye being controlled by Loki attacks the fucking ship and he falls down like 3 floors and he basically throws Natasha away because he's about to transform into a fucking monster. Mm-hmm. And now you're like, holy shit, someone's gonna fucking die right now because they actually managed to do it properly. In Age of Ultron, when he gets controlled by fucking Scarlet Witch and they have the best fight scene in that fucking movie, the Hulkbuster fight, you're like, people are dying in that fucking scene. Like, people are dying in the Hulkbuster fight. And it's the best fight in that fucking movie. He never gets cooler than that because this universe is so afraid of being like the DCU that they're like, no, fuck it. And people are okay with this. And I'm sick of accepting mediocrity in superhero films when I've seen them be some of the best fucking movies out there.
And again, a movie that's funny like Ant-Man. You know what? I will give Ant-Man that. I don't really like it, but it's like Ant-Man fits what is supposed to be the entire movie. It's like, okay, cool. I watched into a comedy and I left a comedy. But then you get something like Civil War, and it's like, now it's time to be a political drama. Oh, but wait, Ant-Man can turn into a big, giant ant boy throwing airplanes and diesel trucks out of the fucking way in a fight with Spider-Man and Black Panther. Like, what the fuck is this stupid shit that I'm watching? And I know everyone likes Civil War. I know, Alan, that's your favorite movie.
It's literally my favorite Marvel movie.
Like, I'm forgetting that these are superhero movies, therefore they are stupid. So having, like, the majority, like, comedy actually a bad thing? To where, like, sometimes the comedy does undercut some of the serious moments, but it's like, when does that not happen in real life? Like, people make jokes all the time when it comes to serious things because it lessens, like, it basically makes us feel a little bit better. Like, that's what they do.
If I'm telling you about how bad my day is and I'm crying and Nick farts, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm legit gonna kill him. But I'm sorry, but like,
all right, what if he thought he muted himself and he still does it?
Well, yeah, but he's not. But again, if he's like, oh, I farted because I thought it'd make you feel better, like, dude, what the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry that your loved one passed away. Let me give you some flatulence
Oh,
to
your
make your day
mom
feel better.
died? Well, guess what?
Well, I
Well, okay, but just something that you said, and I don't know, we should probably move on. But
Yeah,
the last thing I'll say,
you're laughing now because you
I'm
found
laughing because I didn't actually have a bad day. And I'm not crying. We're basically shit. But something that always bothered me, and I see this all over the place, this idea that superheroes are stupid, so we should accept this, is some fucking bullshit that I hate. That people just sit there. Well, it's stupid,
they
right?
are
It's
pretty
not.
stupid.
It's
Let's be
not
honest
because
here.
they get.
Let's be honest here. They are stupid, but I mean, are they fun to watch? Can they basically like what's the word I'm looking for? Like be people like other people's heroes and like make them like do better in life? Yeah, but they're also stupid.
No, okay. So I'm gonna preface this by saying that obviously there are gonna be comics that are weird as shit and people just do for absurdity. Deadpool exists for fucking reason, but comics themselves, at least the idea that even the incarnation of them are not just because they were stories, much like a new generation of sci-fi. Much how sci-fi was used as a way to storytell what it was to tell the human condition, comics eventually became that. Much like Greek mythology, much like Greek gods were used to basically as a way to live your life. You follow Athena because of her virtues. You follow all this. Comics essentially became that as a modern day way of telling stories, as a modern day myth telling stories for a new generation. So it was a way to kind of get these stories. For instance, a Superman was originally Russian propaganda. He was like, hey, be afraid of the Russian. Look at this big Russian man. They use all this stuff to make him strong. Be afraid of him. Be afraid of the Russian. It didn't work out. So they made him American propaganda. So they'd be like, oh, look, he's American. Look at the flag wave and all that jazz. So superheroes originally used for propaganda as a way to showcase what it was to be American. And then superheroes came out as
Superman back to his original roots.
Yeah, you're
and they've done that. They've 100% done that. But superheroes exploded because that was when Superman came out, it exploded, and everyone was trying to like, well, let's tell these stories of these characters. Let's make these characters as a way to represent people and what it's like to live through the daily struggle, or represent cities. So it's like comics have always been a representation of real life, and some people can do it really, really fucking interesting. The Winter Soldier comic is incredible, but there are going to be people that do crazy, stupid shit. But you take something like Spider-Man. There are some great Spider-Man comics, some incredible Spider-Man comics that tell stories of what it's like to live a difficult life with difficult fucking choices. There are some stupid shit, but comics aren't inherently stupid. Just like how not every single genre is inherently dumb. Like music's not all inherently pop music. A pop is a popular thing, and it's probably the most well-known, but there's so many facets of music that music can change your fucking life if you listen to it properly.
My man, they ain't real. It's stupid.
We're moving on after that one. That was great.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm sorry, damn it.
I've been waiting to use that forever.
I'm fucking dying.
Move on. I'm fucking done.
Alan?
No.
In her defense, they are not real.
Did I ever once say they were real during that entire fucking discussion?
No,
Did I?
Your inflection did.
No, I was. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, guys. So I don't know how to follow that up, but I would say that there's some trailers.
End the show. I'm done.
She's sorry, Alan.
No.
I'm just
Literally, I
assuming,
hate you all.
I don't actually think she actually is sorry. I just wanted to make
No,
it
she's
better.
not. That's evil.
Anyway, there's a trailer that, and some of these things might sound a little bit weird when we bring this up, but fucking, there's another trailer for this Rob Zombie movie. It's called 3 from Hell, and here's the thing, man. So this is a continuation of the Devil's Reject story. It goes back to what we were saying earlier about, like, certain genres or certain tones kind of canceling each other out. I could have sworn Devil's Rejects was a funny, cool little movie that ends up, being pretty gory or whatever. But at the end of the movie, these characters die, these bad guys. And I'm looking at this, and it's like, oh, we're going back to horror roots. I mean, it's literally called 3 from Hell. Has a very documentary style type of fucking trailer, and it looks pretty, fucked up. But I can't take this seriously. I've seen the House of Thousand Corpses. I've seen fucking Devil's Rejects. This is a comedy. It's a dark comedy to me, and it's some silly shit, kind of crazy. And this looks very low budget. It doesn't. There's just a lot of this I just don't like. It's not really clicking with me. Now I don't know if you ever watched Devil's Rejects, Alan, or House of Thousand Corpses. Have you, by the way?
I've never even heard of them, honestly. I mean, I know you mentioned Devil Rejects a bunch of times.
I guess me and Jen are not here.
Oh, no, I'm just starting off. Wait.
What the fuck? Hey, clearly you have more to say. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Real talk, I actually wasn't
Oh,
here.
by
I
the
just
way,
thought-
before you start, they're not real.
I just wanted to fuck with Nick.
Well, no, I'll fuck with you. What do you think about this, Gotcha?
Oh shit, my balls! No, for real though. I'm actually hyped for it. I watched it much when I was younger. I had a friend that was really into horror films. His name was Ligas, and he was the one that always like had hookups with the local movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go see like early premieres of all these horror films because he was a huge fan. And I actually remember seeing this in the theater. It was one of the first like big rated R movies that I went to go see. And I get what's going on, but I feel like it's really for the horror aficionados to really get all the like nuances, the different camera angles, the different stuff that he's doing homage to, and the stuff that is just Rob Zombie's own like well-known creepy shit that if you're a fan of him that you look for in these films.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really hit me well. And you know me, I'm not really a huge fan of horrors unless they're really done well or they have a real connection to my childhood. And with I think the Devil's Rejects, this one's called 3. But the Devil's Rejects never had that connection. So with 3, I'm not hyped for it. But I know my girl's excited for it because she's really into all these horror genre stuff. And one of the things that she was talking about, and I'm kind of interested in, is how it's being done as this documentary style. And I'm thinking personally, if they do this kind of like the Manson killing, so do a perverted version of the OJ trial.
Yeah.
So it's going to have the first half is everyone trying to get these people off. And because we all know they did it, it's going to show people trying to excuse different ways, how to give an alibi to prove that they didn't do it. Because it clearly shows throughout the trailer that they get off and they go on a murder spree that probably causes the end of the world from what's internet. And I want to see how they handle that because that might be very interesting and a good way of showing how people could have different perceptions of what goes on.
Yeah, I'm looking at this too. It's like, you know, I love this character. I forgot his name, like James Mosley or something. But basically, he's a character who, you know, does most. You know, he's the most charismatic out of all of them. He's the one that's always talking shit to the victims of whatever the fuck him and his crew is doing. But then once again, you know, I'm looking at this too, and then we end up seeing, you know, Danny Trejo over here. Just, you know, I'm like, I know it's gonna be some weird like, man, Danny Trejo is such a badass. It's just like Machete, you know, his other character that he's done. You know, you fuck with the wrong Mexican type shit. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to see a documentary or not a documentary, but a documentary style horror film that's very realistic and gritty, and then mix in with some fucking jokes or whatever. I think that might be considered a little bit disrespectful, you know, to some people. Jed, I know you care a lot about this kind of stuff too. I'm gonna ask you, is that a good mixture in your opinion? Like, even with the Chainsaw Massacre series, like, do you like the idea of comedy being put into something that's done so realistically and so gritty?
I mean, I do like comedy. I mean, like, I like. Hell, like a lot of the fucking horror movies that you showed me, like had a like comedy in it, so I don't see why like
so
mixing them is bad.
They're so produced, though. I feel like those are okay. Like with Jason, like we just watched Jason Takes Manhattan, and
No, Jason goes to man. Jason doesn't go to man.
No, that movie, like okay, but that movie wasn't even funny. That movie was just irritating.
Wait,
like what part of that movie was actually supposed to be funny? Like I think I would have liked that better if they did add some funny shit, like Jason Part 5 where he's like the fucking chocolate death. That would have been entertaining. They had nothing like that in Jason goes like, oh, Jason spends like fucking 15 minutes in Manhattan.
I mean, like, here's the thing. And by the way, I'm looking at chat. Someone named themselves the name Nick can't say. I don't know who the fuck that is, but there's.
I'm surprised you read that because I said that the
the number Nick can't say.
Use a space, man. It's free.
That's actually
bullshit.
Actually,
I wonder if that's actually supposed to be like said as Adele.
Oh
Adele.
fuck! Oh, it's
Oh,
shit! I can't say it. I don't know how the
that's
fuck.
hilarious. Say it, Nick. What's his name?
It's Die.
Oh my god.
Do it?
Day. How many times do we have to tell you day?
Oh,
How do you look at the word DAE and go die?
No, you motherfucker! I know it's Die. Shit.
It's
He just said wrong.
loud. You're right.
So, Devil's Reject.
Jesus
Anyone
fucking
excited for
Christ.
this Thor movie coming out at any point in time?
Son of a bitch, man.
I'm like indifferent. How about you, Nick? I mean, not Nick. Nick's fuck.
Wow, we don't know anyone's day today.
How
Fuck.
about you, Alan?
I don't know honestly because I've only seen 2 Rob Zombie movies and they're both Halloween, so I don't know if he's a good director or office fucking rocker. But maybe we'll watch one of these. Maybe we'll watch like the first one in like the after hours or something, and then I'll decide if I want to see the next.
I
down
don't
for that.
really give a shit. I'm gonna be honest. Here's the thing. I'm tired, and I'm gonna be straight up. The rest of tonight's topics, I don't give a fuck about right now. And
You don't care about Harry Styles being in the next Disney movie?
no, man. And
Nope, we're gonna talk about ass.
No, really quick.
Yes,
And I do want to bring this up though. One thing before we get into ass is like, didn't they get the fucking memo? There's so much shit going on with the Little Mermaid and how people are pissed off that there's gonna be a black actress playing the mermaid, I guess, or whatever.
Sure.
I don't even know what the fuck that movie's about. I just know there's a mermaid in it.
It,
But
I mean, I don't know. It's called The Little Mermaid, so you can probably guess.
I know, but there's more to it. See, it's not like one of those action movies that you like. This one, is supposed to have story. So,
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. I like Jason X.
Oh, that has story.
Sure it does.
Just
Jason
because you
wants to
weren't
kill
focusing,
everybody.
you're too busy looking at the titties or whatever.
My only question with this story is, what is
Titties.
Disney thinking? Because Lion King doesn't seem like it's doing well. I'm still gonna go see it because I love the fuck out of Lion King. But in terms of these things long term, it's starting to definitely show its age and showing that this plan is not working out long term. And I'm wondering why they are pushing this so hard. Because honestly, Harry Styles being Prince Eric does not change anything.
Mhm.
And I think One Direction has been famous for the last 3 years.
But the big-
So
Yeah,
who
but
the fuck is going to go see for him?
Well, okay.
Exactly.
One, they're
Is he going to
see
kick
because-
a grenade, though? That's one thing I'm interested in.
That's Bruno Mars. Anyway,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Wait,
anyway,
it's not Bruno Mars. He wasn't in that fucking war movie.
I didn't want to argue, so go ahead.
Any fucking way. They're gonna watch this because it's Disney on it. The what's it called? Wow, God's point just fucking made my brain stop.
No, but you
Any
made
fucking
my
way.
brain stop because like, the way you responded, it's like, that doesn't even fucking fit. What the fuck are you talking? Bruno Mars?
I thought he said catch a grenade. I thought that's what he's
I thought
talking
Harry
about.
Styles was the guy that kicked the grenade in that
No,
one.
that was Andrew Garfield.
Actually, I think Harry Styles is the greatest WWE champion of all time. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. I love it. Yeah, it's fucking
No, you
great.
think of Harry Styles in Dunkirk.
Oh, yeah, okay. He wasn't a war movie. I'm just an
That's
idiot.
a war movie, just a different one. Any fucking way. So I think what it is like much like Aladdin, where they casted a bunch of people no one's ever fucking heard of. They're selling it based on Disney's name and the fact that it's an established property that people know. So what they're trying to do is, as much as we hate One Direction, he is still a singer. He still has talent. We just don't like his songs, and we think his boy band is awful. But they casted singers to be in these roles, unlike what they did with fucking Beauty and the Beast, where they just casted people that don't even look the part. They just casted people that were popular. They casted Naomi Watts, and she clearly couldn't sing because they auto-tuned her. But they actually casted 2 singers, so they probably want to focus more on the musicals this time around. And they're going to sell it based on the name. So honestly, they're just trying to get people that can actually fit the roles as opposed to people that look like the characters.
And it's not even mostly about that too. It's just like the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because like people are upset about this whole black thing, and they're like, no, we're gonna fight for it. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a black main actress in here. We're being so diverse, so let's put in the most whitest, most boring fucking dude in here. And it's like, wow, you guys fought and got so much bad opinion about your fucking movie. So many people are talking shit about it, and then you still do this. Why couldn't you have a black dude going or a Mexican dude?
I mean, if they wanted a prince, especially in that time period, yeah, get the most, boring-looking white motherfucker. Because hey, that's what all princes.
All right, so
were.
I got a conspiracy theory.
I don't know.
This
This again? Like you did with Mulan?
Yeah, Corey Coleman from Double Toasted also talked about this. Hollywood can handle interracial relationships as long as the man is not hooking up with a woman of a different race. Think about it. Every movie we see, it's always the woman that hooks up with someone of a different race.
Oh, is that my theory too? That when they do in the B movie, that they'll always do the interspecies marriage as long as the woman is human.
Yep, exactly. It's the same kind of fucking policy.
Well, on top of it too, though, I mean, and I guess we're done with that. But it's just like another thing that I didn't give much of a fuck about either. And it once again, like the whole theme tonight is just weird tonal shifts. But like I thought Kingsman was supposed to be fun. Like I could have sworn it was like dumb humor, dumb shooting action.
No.
What is this? Black Hawk Down back in the World War I ass shit.
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
Okay, so when you watch the very first Kingsman movie, it was a bit lighter, obviously, than this because that's some pretty dark imagery. But the thing about the first Kingsman movie is it did deal with some heavy stuff, but it was clearly supposed to be a satire of the James Bond. Now I picked that word satire because it's not trying to be like, oh, the fucking epic movies or scary movies where it's straight jokes. They're like, no. They're kind of poking fun at some of the stuff that there's, but they're still telling a most serious story. It just kind of loses its mind near the end. But with this one, what they're trying to do is this is a prequel to the first one. Most likely that character is going to be the character that recruits the main guy in the first Kingsman. But they want to go for a more they do want to go for more serious tone because they want to go how this starts. And a lot of the dialogue they're doing here is really interesting stuff because they're talking about how the British basically came to power, and they're like, oh, it's not because of chivalry, it's because we're fucking ruthless and we didn't give a fuck. And it seems like that's what they're going for from the very beginning, is to kind of show it's like, yeah, we didn't do this because we were good people. We did this because we were the biggest assholes, but we're good at it. And I'm like, okay, I like that. They're going for something a little bit darker. They're going to kind of take back the comedy a little bit, which kind of ruined the second one. And actually maybe try to do a better movie that's actually trying to almost be a weird fantasy historical movie at the same time.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. Like, I understand that you're okay with that,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like it was already rough to get into this in the first place, especially trying to sell this to other people because it's like, yeah, it's fucking silly and it is some comic book shit, but at the same time, they're selling it as something that's kind of above the comic book silly shit because, you know, as you say, the 007 of it all. I feel like that's almost on a certain tier that like the last 30 years of filmmaking, people are like, hey, 007 is actually good. That's something that we're proud of. That's something that
Yeah.
Hollywood would show to, you know, just, you know, be happy with. Looking at this, you know, the last two movies were silly, but people were okay with it. Now I'm like, okay, you're not satisfying anyone's actual need for whatever the genre is. You're not satisfying the 007 people because it's still too silly for that. You're not satisfying the comic book nerds because there's no superhero shit going on and it's too serious. And then you're not even satisfying people that take real life war movies serious because it's not going to be as violent. This is going to be a PG-13, you know.
Not necessarily, because both the last ones were rated R. Kingsman 1 and Kingsman 2. Trust me, there's no way they're going to get PG-13 rating with some of the violence they show in those movies. But the thing is,
Do you
it's
think that
like
it's going to be as intense as something like what's that movie? Hacksaw Ridge, whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh no, but that was more intense than it needed to be. That was honestly Mel Gibson saying, "Oh man, I can get away with anything. Let me have these people falling apart." I don't think there's a war movie out there that's as intense. Black Hawk Down isn't as intense as Hacksaw Ridge. And that movie's not fucking rated. That movie's not fucking PG-13. That movie, there's still a lot of violence in there. But like again, when you see in the fucking first one, dude, people are getting cut in half and getting their heads cut off and blown up. In the second one, people are being shoved into meat grinders and shit. Like they're violent ass fucking movies. But the thing is, it's like you're saying it's not satisfying the people that want more. So like if they're able to do something, within that time period and actually kind of show what it was like to be a British soldier and how ruthless the war could be, that could be something interesting. It being serious isn't going to turn out the comic people because hey, every now and then we want something that's well written, like the first Kingsman movie. And I just hope that they scale back the comedy a little bit. Like, don't do the comedy middle of No Man's Land because go fuck yourself. But maybe when he's trying to learn this shit and he's fucking up some of the tools, sure, you can alleviate it. It doesn't have to be this dark ass fucking movie the whole time. But just use it properly.
Ride an artillery shell into battle.
What's
That's
that?
just me. I wanted to ride an artillery shell into battle, but that's just me.
If he instantly dies, sure, fuck it. But
Oh,
you
but-
ain't walking away from that one.
But looking at this trailer, though, Jay, I'm gonna ask you. I know you have you seen any of the Kingsmen? I remember you talking shit about Golden Circle. I think, if I could be wrong.
I've seen both of them.
Okay,
seen
what do
both
you think
of
about
them?
them?
I actually really, really like the first one, especially that church scene. You know, the actual villain
Oh,
in there
yeah.
and how things actually turned out.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I absolutely fucking hated.
Why is that? Because it looks kind of like the same shit. It doesn't really look like there's a big difference between the two.
Well, the first one actually, like, well, I don't really mind this too much. It did have a good balance of comedy and also the action, and there actually was a story going on. In the second one, it was just this fucking jumbled mess with them also bringing back characters and shit. And then also the villain was honestly not as iconic as the first one. The shit, like, the switch of, like, who the villains were and shit like that, the action scenes got on my nerves with slow motion shit.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought it was fucking horrible.
And I know you like
I'm
slow
not
motion,
even-
Alan, but yikes.
I'm not even gonna disagree with her that the second one's a real mess, because the second one goes from satire, which is like, hey, it has this comedy,
Oh, and
to a
also
straight.
that beginning part too, that
Oh,
that
yeah.
start to the fucking movie was so fucking horrible. That actually made me so mad to where I was just like, okay, is that a joke?
Well,
Is that
contextually,
really
what
a
was the
joke?
beginning?
That's how they're fucking starting this movie off?
Oh, they kill
Whoa.
off everyone.
Oh, well, that sounds badass. That's like a good way to start off. Like, hey guys,
No,
like,
the way they did it was
It was
horrible.
okay, well, shit.
They killed off the only female character in the movie.
Oh my god, and the fucking romance, like, there was an ending romance in the first one that they basically go back to on this one, and they spend, like, I wouldn't say a long amount of time on it, but it was, quotations, important enough to where, like, it was honestly, like, you really wanted that shit to just fucking stop because of how corny it was.
Yeah.
It was between, like, these movies came out a while ago, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Basically, he fucks like a princess or whatever the fuck, and you think, oh, it was just a fucking booty call at the end of the fucking movie because like he saves her or whatever. No, he starts dating her, is about to meet her parents and whatnot. The drug thing, like the whole thing about the second one is, everyone basically like gets infected with this like drug or whatever to like kill off druggies. Like it's been a while since I've seen it, but it was
It's
pretty
about
fucking
that.
stupid.
It sounds very convoluted. It's like Jesus Christ.
Well,
This is
the
kinda
basic
ridiculous.
plot is that the what you call it, the main villain is a drug kingpin, and she monopolized the entire drug game, and she's pissed off that she's basically like a criminal. So she basically puts a specific virus. She puts a virus she created that'll paralyze people in all of her drugs, so that she could basically affect all the druggies and use them as a hostage.
Okay, wow.
Mhm. And then like
It's
some
insane
like a lot
convoluted.
of the fucking basically if you did drugs during a certain time you were affected by this. And so
Yes.
basically there was politicians saying like, oh well, like oh there's a time limit to where like if we don't save these people they die. Okay, get rid of them. They're all druggies or whatever until it starts affecting them and their families and shit like that. Which I
Wow.
guess would be interesting if the rest of the movie wasn't so fucking stupid. And it basically, Eggsy, the main character's main thing was like, oh, my girlfriend's infected because she got fed up with our relationships to where she took drugs and now she's affected by it. Ooh, it was so fucking annoying. It was so unneeded. And also, Channing Tatum, the whole thing that they basically said like, oh, he's so important to this fucking movie or whatever. You should go see it because Channing Tatum's in there. He's only in there for like 10 minutes.
That's almost okay. That you actually sold me back in because I cannot fucking stand Channing Tatum.
The thing about like she is right, but the thing about it is like it. I like the action scenes so much in the movies that kept me going. There's so many of them, and so many. Every character gets a cool moment. The slow motion was used really, really well, and it kind of kept it going. Where it's like, yeah, they had almost better action scenes than they did in the first one. But the story itself, it felt way too comedic. It felt like they didn't really know what they were doing, and it did feel like it felt like the director kind of lost his mind, and it was very, very long. It's like over 2 hours. This movie easily.
Like the thing is with the first one, at least you knew exactly what they were doing. Like they had a plan. They actually knew what they wanted him to do. Go through this training, like stop this shit that's going on. Get rid of somehow get rid of all the undercover people that are also like in on this. Like there's something going on. And this one is just like, okay, do this. Okay, do this. Okay, you're in America now. Oh, here's the American Kingsman. Oh, here's that. Here's that. Oh, my girlfriend. Villain. Oh, guess what? There's another villain. Oh, it's terrible.
And looking at this too is like, you know, I don't know what to think about this. I mean, do you feel like there's part of Golden Circle's like tone or just what the movie is about? Do you feel like that's a little bit in here, or do you feel like no, this is fully on something completely different, whether it's good or bad? But Jed, what do you feel about that? Do you think it's just kind of similar to what we've seen before?
I honestly don't. I don't want to watch any more of these movies after that.
Just because
I don't care. I don't care what the fuck they're trying to do.
To jump on her, I think that it is very different. I think it's even different than the first one. This feels more like actually no, this feels very, very similar in tone to the first one. We're gonna get a character that's probably good in some way in the war because that's what it starts off. It's like, hey, you managed to make your name in the war. We're gonna actually get you to a higher position, and that's when he starts learning all the extra stuff. And it's like, hey, we need you to actually train and actually become a Kingsman so you can start defending Great Britain and the Queen. I hope because it's the same director, and I hope he learned his lesson from that because this is a prequel, so it's a chance to start fresh. Like, hey, you know what? We don't have to deal with any of the consequences from Golden Circle. Let's just start fresh and hope it works out. And I really hope it does. Like, it looks like they're gonna focus and make it a bit more of a serious story. The second trailer is probably gonna be the one that'll really tell us how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna have them go visit like the fucking Kingsmen in Africa and shit, and then basically get rid of the only black people there for a short amount of time.
Now, here's the thing, though, to bring up most importantly. This movie apparently it's coming out in the same weekend. Ryan Walterson let me know. It's coming out the same weekend as Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, gotta tell you, two shitty movies.
Sonic.
Poor Kingsman. It's not gonna be able to beat that Sonic.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I think normally it would, but this culture is so like just ironic. Like just we need to watch this because we're funny people, right? This generation is so full of those motherfuckers, including all y'all on this goddamn call right now.
You goddamn right I'm watching it day one. Double feature, motherfucker.
Ganja, gonna ask you, man.
He's in the bathroom.
Movie... He is. Okay, well, shit. Literally. But, okay. You're saying day one.
Day goddamn one. Because I said this like 5 or 6 years ago, and I said one day they're going to make a fucking live-action Sonic movie, and I'm going to be there because I didn't get a chance to be there when they made a live-action Super Mario Brothers movie, and I want to be there in history. So 20 years from now, we're talking about how bad this movie's going to be. I'll be like, I was there day fucking one, and I'm going to be there day fucking one. And if they're coming out the same week, I'll do a double feature. Fuck it.
Okay, what if it's actually good?
I will laugh my ass off because the exact same thing happened with Angry Birds. I was like, "There's no way this movie's gonna be good. It's based on Angry Birds. It's gonna be some garbage," and I actually genuinely enjoyed it. I was like, "Wow, this is
Well,
actually an interesting movie. They're doing some interesting stuff with it." And yeah, the comedy kind of it sucks at times. But I'm just kind of having fun with the movie, and I genuinely ended up enjoying it. So it's like maybe it'll end up being an enjoyable. It's either one of two things. Sorry, three things. It's either gonna be an actual good movie. It's either gonna be so bad it's good, or it's gonna be a boring mess.
Jet, how about you?
so you're gonna be first in line to see Ants 2 then when it comes out this year.
What's up?
Yeah, your thing cut out for a second. What
So you're gonna be first in line when you see Angry Birds 2 when it comes out this year.
Oh, fuck
Yes.
it, dude, that's gonna be good. Yeah.
I actually thought that trailer looks really good.
Yeah.
That trailer looks really good, and I'm confused by it.
Why? Okay, why are you hating on Angry Birds, Jet?
I didn't like that movie.
Wow.
Like everyone was praising
You
it.
didn't
Like
like when
I
they
sat
blame-
down and watched it, I was like, this sucks.
For what it was, though, I mean, it was literally a mobile game. And like, I think, is this the first mobile game movie?
No, technically. Do you count the Emoji Movie?
Oh, fuck, you're right. But this came out before Emoji Movie.
Did it?
Maybe. I think so.
I
I have no
can't-
idea.
I
I'll look
can't
it up while you
remember.
talk.
Yeah, but you know, Angry Birds though, I had fun with it. But the thing is though, more so than anything else, is like Sonic does not have a ton of movies to be as far. I mean, like, dude, right away, I don't give a fuck how bad this movie is. Just on its animation alone, it's definitely better than fucking Double Dragons. It's definitely better than Street Fighter. It's better than most of those fucking movies, especially anything coming in the '90s and 2000s. Oh god, especially Dragon Ball Evolution. Holy fuck.
Okay, you just named some of the worst movies ever.
I know, but this is not gonna be worse than those. That's
Oh,
kind of
you're
a
right.
big
You're right.
point.
It's not gonna be worse than some of the worst movies ever made. Okay, so we got our bar, but like, it's one of those things. Where it's like, it just doesn't look anything. And when you see again, one of the biggest problems with this movie is the fact that they felt they need to do both a live action and CG. If they did something like Spider-Verse, where they kept it in one art style, it would. I think this probably would have done way better.
Well,
And Spider-Verse was successful. Spider-Verse is very successful. So it's not, don't tell me, oh, it would have made as much money. It would have made a lot of money. What they want to go for is they want to go for the cheapest possible. They want to go for the Smurf, and they want to go for Alvin and Chipmunks, where they want to do a minimal story. They want to try. I mean, they didn't even bother getting iconic characters. They want to get something.
Put these animated characters with these real life humans. Wacky adventures happen.
And wacky adventures. They're doing the exact same archetype to what they're doing with what they did with Smurfs and what they did with Chipmunks. They're gonna have it's gonna start off in the Sonic world. Then he's gonna go jump in the rings because he's chasing some Chaos Emerald, and then that's when he shows up. Like as they always do when they found the Smurfs and they found out to us, starts screaming or some stupid bull. It's the same fucking archetype as those movies. What's up?
You literally just mentioned something I completely forgot about. What if they do have Supersonic in this movie?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what's Supersonic? Is that like a special meal for like fast food restaurant or something? Like, get the Supersonic today.
Wait,
all
you
the
don't know
meals
that-
for $5.
Wait, is
You
it
don't know
Metal
Sonic
Sonic
can
or
go
what are you talking about?
Supersonic?
I don't know what Supersonic. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what's that?
Wait, you guys don't know Supersonic?
Are you fucking
No.
with me? Oh,
So
Supersonic.
basically, I'm
Type
back
in-
now. I just had to wash my hands and stuff. But
Type in
basically,
Supersonic.
Supersonic is a copyright infringement on Dragon Ball Z. They basically copy and pasted Goku's super move.
That's what it looks like.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what they called him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I looked it up and I was like, it looks familiar. I'm like,
No,
wait.
not in this movie, but but what it is because he's gonna be looking for a Chaos Emerald. That's what's bringing him to our world because our world has it for some fucking reason. And the end credit is what we saw with the whole bald Jim Carrey because he's also gonna get a Chaos Emerald. They want to do a trilogy and they're gonna have that in the third fucking movie. I guarantee you this is gonna be a trilogy if this movie makes any amount of money because they want to have Supersonic at some point. I don't think it's gonna be in this movie. I think they're gonna hint at it though.
But see, here's my issue too. It's just like, why can't people just like watch this for what it is? Like, everyone's like, oh man, I'm gonna watch this because it's gonna be bad. And it's like that's what makes shit like this keep getting made. That's what it's gonna be a Dora the Explorer fucking movie in the next month. It's like why you guys do that shit? Like,
But it might not make the money because like look at what happened with
you know what it is, man. Everyone's
look what happened
doing
with
that.
Godzilla. Godzilla the new one.
I
As
bet
much
it
as
costs
like
money. It clearly didn't cost that much to make fucking Sonic. This shit looks terrible.
we don't know. That movie easily could have been $100 million, 120.
I don't know.
Easily.
About that, man. Yeah.
I'm not sure they must have changed the budget because they had to do reshoots. But I'm curious if they even released any sort of budget.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, I don't know, man. Ganja, since you're here though, man, I'm gonna ask you real quick before we move on. Yeah, which movie do you think you would watch? You would be more inclined to watch, Kingsman or Sonic the Hedgehog?
Honestly, I'll go see Sonic because I know you hate it, but I would love to see how bad they fuck up.
So,
Wow.
okay, so Sonic's budget is $90 million. They also did Spider-Verse for roughly the same amount of money. And it's like, so you can't tell me that it's cheaper to do cheaper to do a live action thing, or it'd be too expensive to do an entire CG animated movie, because we've seen it happen. Hell, the Mario movie is even going CG because they're going animation because they realize that the character does look very weird, but the character is still iconic, so they're going to keep it in an animated world where it'll blend better. Sonic doesn't blend well with real life. Sonic doesn't blend well with real life in his own video games. Go look up Sonic Unleashed. Go look up Sonic 06. Go look up whenever they have to try to have Sonic next to a normal fucking person. It looks weird in the video games.
We don't talk about Sonic bestiality anymore, sir.
Oh god, that's a dude. I guarantee you they're gonna have a kissing scene in this movie.
But moving on, this is gonna be the last thing for the night, and I'm gonna be straight up once again. I didn't watch this trailer because I am not giving this bitch more fucking attention than she'll ever fucking earn in her goddamn life.
Which one? Because there's a lot of women in here that you probably don't like.
You know what? Let me go on a big fucking rant here.
Go ahead.
I fucking hate Cardi B. I fucking hate. Wow, I like how they didn't even tell you who the fuck's in this movie, because I know there's a bunch of other girls. I just can't remember them right now. But I'm looking in the description of this video,
in there.
and nothing. Who?
J-Lo.
J-Lo.
no.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone run. J-Lo's in another movie.
Yeah, man. But like, wow, how do you not have the actresses in here? It's like, Jesus Christ, this fucking this description is terrible. But anyways, yeah, I hate every single person in this fucking movie. I really, really do. Especially Cardi B. Now, we were talking before the show about how, is Cardi B going to be a big part of this fucking movie? Or she's just going to be one of those celebrities that show up for a second for the trailer and then she's not in there anymore? I don't know what to think about this, but Alan, what do you feel? And please tell me you're just as mad and aggravated as I am about this fucking bullshit.
So I am probably, at this point, I don't really think I'm in the minority, because I don't think J-Lo is a really good actress. I think she's actually quite terrible. I've seen Geely. I've seen that movie she did with Jason Statham. I can't fucking remember what it was called. She is not a particularly good actress in any way, shape, or form. And I have no real strong feelings one way or another towards Cardi B. I don't like her music. And I would say I liked her personality because she kept talking shit to politicians, but then also after all that drug thing, I'm like, I don't know if I like you as a person either. So,
and just
honestly,
overall stupid. Like, even criminally, she's still fucking dumb. I'm gonna go on the fucking social media. I don't commit a crime. You know what I mean? And then people call her out. Oh, you committed a crime? Oh no, nothing. No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, I'm sorry. I was just joking. It's for a song, guys.
Yeah. So I pulled up the trailer, fully expecting to not like this. Going, this is really interesting. I actually really like this trailer. This trailer is able to showcase what the characters are doing, showcase this kind of interesting thing of like, let's have these women, fuck over these rich white guys, and J-Lo is giving it her all. Where it's like, yeah, she's really feeling like she's a leader of these girls that are in. Clearly, all the girls in there are in over her head, but J-Lo's clearly the mastermind of this entire thing. And I kind of like the situation where it's like,
yeah, in real life, by the way, ever.
Yeah, no,
Which would not happen in real life.
Oh,
ever.
Sure, but hey, they're making me believe it in a movie. But I'm liking the progression. I'm liking how the trailer's doing it. It's doing everything that's needed to properly, where it's giving me an idea of the plot, it's giving me an idea of the progression, it's giving me an idea of the difference that the characters are doing, and I'm actually just having a great time. It's a heist movie. It's just a heist movie with strippers, and I'm like, it's not playing it. Oh, we're gonna make this like a parody of heist movies. Like, no, we're doing a heist movie, but these women, yeah, they're just so used to manipulating men that they're just gonna use it now for their own gain as opposed to giving it to their fucking boss. I'm like, I'm liking this. They're really, I don't know. Again, I have no idea what Cardi B is going to do, but I'm actually liking J-Lo in this trailer. It's really selling me on this movie.
Jed, how about you? What are you feeling about this? Because I know you probably don't like how much I'm talking shit about all three of these women. So this is your shot to go off on me.
I know it's J-Lo, Cardi B, and who else?
Someone who doesn't deserve for me to fucking mention.
Constance Wu, and I think her name is, what the hell's her name? Lily Reinhart. She was, what's her face, Betty in Riverdale.
Wow, yikes.
Yeah, I know, but oh god, I don't think that girl's a particularly good actress, but
Neither is J-Lo. They're both bad.
And neither's Cardi B.
Cardi's a singer, and like I've never seen her act in stuff, so I'll say she's probably also bad. Like,
but just coming across like
a good start here.
Nothing Cardi B ever says feels legitimate too, though. Even her songs, like I got the money. I know all you have is an accent. You don't sound like you're actually in charge type person.
She can't fucking sing, but she got some rhythm going.
Yeah.
She got beats. You can put some terrible ass singing over some good ass beats, and you got yourself a hit.
Yeah, but that's not Cardi B though.
Like, yeah, but even inflections in the voice.
I think this movie's gonna be fun. I mean, even if it's
You
just a dumb fun, like Alan said, hey, just rob her. I'm tired of being taken advantage of from my bosses and these people that are just pimping me out. And I'm gonna take my money back from these assholes. And these are rich assholes too that hate on everybody. They rob from everybody. So it's like some Robin Hood shit. I get it.
I can't really take that would be fun if they didn't put J-Lo in here. You know, the queen of stealing from people.
I
Hey,
mean,
it's a rule, man. It works.
she's already got training. Why not?
But like,
Exactly.
another thing too is like the whole like I thought there's gonna be something to this like when we get to the end of the trailer, but it's like I guarantee you it's gonna go this way without me watching it. They're gonna find someone who is privy to their shit. He's gonna know. He's like, hey, I know what you motherfuckers are doing. I like it, but let me pull some shit on you guys. And then they're gonna have like an inbound fight between all three girls, and at the very end, because female power, yeah, they're gonna get back together, fuck over the guy. And then I'm gonna be left with like, wow, I just watched 2 hours of bitches doing the same fucking thing, the whole fucking movie.
No.
Like,
Again,
God
that's
damn.
one of the ways of going, but the other way is because they clearly showed the police a law that's on their tail. The blonde, I think that's Lily Reinhardt. She seems like she just doesn't like this at all. So she may be a situation where she gets pressed on. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, this movie, it's following an archetype. No one's saying this is the most unique concept ever. It's very similar to an Ocean's movie. But Ocean's, 11 and the remake was really good, and the Ocean movies, except for 12, are actually pretty good movies. But we still kind of know it's like, yeah, there's always going to be that infight, and there's always going to be that progression. But it's like, how well is the movie's going to be? Because yeah, if it's just the same thing over and over again, it's going to be boring. But if they're able to do weird, cool, interesting like ploys and tricks, yeah, this might be an entertaining 2-hour movie.
It's just my whole thing is like I'm getting upset because there's been so much shit that's come out recently with girls in it too that's been good. Even the most recent I can think of is Widows. With Viola Davis and Michelle Rodriguez and lots of other girls.
Yep.
And I'm looking at this and it's like this is twice in a month now we got a trailer. The first one being Charlie's Angels, and I'm like,
Oh,
that
no.
looks so unbelievably fucking bad. And then this comes out, and I'm like, I think we just went back to the mid 2000s, y'all. If you're a hot chick, you have to be a stripper, and then you just take over, man. Because who trusts a fucking stripper, right, guys? Am I right? No. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, nah. I'm not fucking sold. I am fucking mad. This is some fucking bullshit, man.
I mean, the fact that fucking Betty and fucking J-Lo are on this are already an automatic nah from me.
I know, but maybe this trailer. I mean, maybe it's just a
Again,
well-cut
I
How
trailer.
are you
but-
mad about
J-Lo.
Charlie's Angels and not this?
What?
What's up?
No, Alan. Like I'm like, how are you mad about Charlie's Angels and not this? Like I'm
Because Charlie's Angels, the trailer was awful. It was hyper cut.
This
It
wasn't
felt like I
awful?
never.
This wasn't awful. I'm sorry, keep interrupting.
No, it wasn't. But okay, Charlie's Angels was hyper cut, really awful. Anytime they had a person speaking, because they had Kristen Stewart, just honestly, I didn't believe a single word she was saying. And it felt like I had literally no idea what the fuck was going on. This, it took its time, it set everything up properly. And anytime someone was speaking, I felt believable. And I was like, it was really interesting to see what was going to go on and what was going to happen. With Charlie's Angels, it's like, it just felt like it didn't know what year it wanted to be in, where this feels like it could either be a 90s movie or it could be a movie set in modern day. And it felt right. It felt like everything it was doing properly. And this was a really well cut trailer where, yeah, I never got that feeling from Charlie's Angels. I just kind of got this mess of a fucking narrative.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Alan. Like, I'm more hyped for this one.
Now, one thing I want to bring up too, because I'm pretty sure people are gonna be like, "Well, let me see what what would you do, Nick?" And it's like, I mean, I won't tell you what I'll be able to do with the storyline of this because I don't know anything about like the hustler or girl, whatever the fuck stripper mentality. But I'm looking at this. This is a Players Club. This was something that I felt was done right. And granted, I mean, you're looking at this trailer and it's like, okay, well, I guess it's more surrounded around the men. But lots of this movie is actually storylines about the strippers and what they're going through. And there's
Sure.
so much shit that respects like what actual real life stripper would go through. It's like their life isn't all about like how I fuck these men over, I'm making money and I'm this and I'm that, because that's still in here too. But it's also respecting like the foundation of what the story was built on. And Hustlers is like, hey, glitz and glamour, titties, coke,
Yeah.
blah blah. Like,
Okay.
just fuck off. It's like a rap video.
But how much of players, like how much of it are you talking about based on the fact that you've actually, straight seen the movie probably multiple times? Like, I'm sure that trailer was probably like every other 90s trailer that came out, just showcasing kind of the most entertaining, most interesting, and in some cases, the sexiest parts of the movie. Whereas, like, you see the movie, like, oh, there's actually more to it. It's like, yeah, this might be a garbage fucking movie. This could easily be as bad as any Ocean's movie. or it could actually be a movie that does something very similar to that. Where it's like, yeah, we saw the most entertaining parts, with the whole, oh, he's my husband, hospital, she steals the fucking car. Like, that's funny because that's great trailer stuff, but like, we don't know how much of that, we don't know how much time that takes in the movie versus other stuff that's actually going on, because we clearly see it's like, especially in the last bit of this trailer, that it's like, yeah, it's not gonna be great till like there's gonna be some fucked up moments where they got to think their way out of these situations.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just
Exactly.
like at this part, I'm just so sick of the same fucking movie, and it's like, wow, lots of people are being creative. Even Hollywood's being a little bit creative nowadays. I'll talk shit about movies all day, but they're being more creative than the fucking video game industry. I'll give you that much. And now we're back to this. It's like, shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of upset. Before we go, by the way, I do have one more topic I want to bring up, just because tomorrow when I do the gaming show, I'm probably just
Dang,
gonna
one more email ass.
I'm sorry. No, the only reason why is because like I'd rather talk now, because tomorrow I'm probably just gonna play a video game. I'm not really gonna do any topics for the gaming show tomorrow. But, Alan, I
What's up?
have to actually give you a W here. I might finally take an L and say you weren't all the way wrong. Have you heard about the news about GameStop apparently going back and playing some fucking some retro gaming stuff, that they're gonna change their whole business?
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. That they want to do something. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about with e-leagues, but apparently they want to start selling more retro games and more niche stuff. Because I've heard about that.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And I don't
So
know,
basically, just become like one of those
mom and pop stuff.
those video
Yeah,
game
pretty
stores
much.
that are all over the place that already do that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yep. And here's the thing, like, I'm down for it. I'm glad that I don't work with the place I used to work at, because they'll probably be like, oh fuck, now we're screwed, guys. But yeah, GameStop to create a new store concept, offer retro gaming. Gotta tell you,
Sure.
man, this is cool to even put some kind of like pay fee in front of like maybe like, hey, here's some stations for retro games, like an NES station or a PlayStation,
Or even
station.
modern games. Like, have a fucking arcade. Hey, I want to try this game out before I buy. Can I fucking play it for like 20 minutes? Sure.
Well,
It's like-
unfortunately nowadays
For
games are so
$5.
bad that someone does that, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to buy it because it fucking sucks. Thank you. Though.
True, but like again, the situations where it's like it'd be a great way to get people into your store to try it out, and it's like for every 5 people that just play the game for 20 minutes, one person buys it. That could have been a sale you didn't necessarily have, and it's like there are a lot of games out there that you could easily do that with. Any Madden or FIFA game, they do. I see that do all the time. Outside of,
like it's FIFA.
Walmart's and Toys R Us's, they do that all the time where they have a game station there. Why not have? Why doesn't GameStop fucking have that? It's like there are ways you can make it work and make it so that it's less like, hey, walk. It's literally like, let's walk in and we're gonna rob you. It's like, no, come in, sit down, have a fucking juice bar. Fuck it, like.
Yeah, I know, like, the Gatorade shit. You know what I mean? Like, just hey,
Even
here's some
then,
Mountain Dew and
have
some
a fucking
chips.
Orange Julius halfway through. Like, who cares?
Yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree with you. And here's the thing too: is like I have to admit, Nick Diaz right here, I was wrong. I
Oh,
thought
damn, let me
GameStop
free
was-
base this moment. This is good
Wait,
shit.
so what are you saying you were wrong about that? Like they're not
That
going out
game's-
of business?
Don't ask
Pretty
questions,
much.
Jeff. Don't ruin
Yeah,
this. stuff.
I'm just gonna leave it there.
No, cause I'll say this: because if something happens and I was right in about a month or two, I'm gonna come
Motherfucker.
back to this.
He does this too, by the way. That's why I'm not saying anything.
What?
Because you always do this. You're like, you know what, Alan? I'm gonna give you a W because this is this. Wait a second. No, I said that. I'll
I'm
take
just
the
trying to figure out what
W.
you were going to
No,
give
you
him a
still got
W for,
W.
like because like GameStop is still around. Like what's the W for?
Well, because here's the thing: I was like, you know what, GameStop, they're never gonna fucking change. They're gonna die, and they're never coming back. This, I'm telling you, this is a good idea. This is them finally, and the reason why I got this even in my head, because as we're talking about our last topic about the movie stuff, I was like, wow, Hollywood's being a little bit more creative than the fucking gaming industry, and it's like, well, here's one situation where maybe the gaming industry is like, you know what, let's do what AMC did. Let's reinvent ourselves, do something a little bit different. Not necessarily reinvent, but to
You
say
gotta
something
change it
like,
up.
yeah, change it up, and just how can we better serve our consumers so they're happier and want to fucking buy more shit.
You need a reason to get people into the store because, as something that I was saying, and this is probably in regards to that, is that GameStop is not the only place to buy video games, and it's not even the only place to buy physical video games. There are the Best Buys, Walmarts, Targets. That's you can even get physical games from fucking Amazon if you buy the fucking
I'm
PS4
on
version.
Goodwill
you
if
get
you got
this.
the right one.
Exactly. So it's
But it
like
even goes back to
GameStop.
Oh, I'm
What's up?
sorry. No, I was gonna say, it's like even what you said. It's like, yeah, but what does Walmart do that GameStop doesn't do? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I go to GameStop instead of Walmart if, like you
Exactly.
said, I have to go in and buy the same game? But this is their
having a
strategy.
situation in which like, oh, I can go in there and just chill and maybe try the game out on a fucking stand and instead of like wondering what the fuck it's like they always play videos of games on the fucking TV. It's like, well, now I get a chance to try the game out for a little bit. It's like, oh, I actually really like it. Now I'm more comfortable giving you my money. Now I'll come back again. And it's like, or there's other stuff. There's retro games. I was like, oh, hey, I still have my N64. I haven't seen this game in fucking forever. That's a great selection. Like, you need a reason to get somebody in the store, even if it's just a shop, because a shopping customer is more likely to buy something than someone that's walking outside your store. It's like, as soon as they're in there, it increases the chances, especially if they're browsing, of buying something, even if it's not necessarily a new game. They want to sell more used games than anything else. So it's like, you need people walking around your store in order to sell shit.
Yeah,
He is right.
But actually, would this really help? Because I mean, them just bringing in retro games, like how many people still have their old stuff, and like, is that niche market of people like game collectors really that big for them to actually, have this keep going?
you know what? Honestly, I think you make a great point, Jet. So with that said, I'm right, Alan. Never mind. Here's an L.
I was just asking a question.
Yes,
no, I'm just
because
fucking around with Al.
yes, because there's a situation right now in which when people are buying new games, they will look for whatever's most convenient to buy in new games, which is why digital skyrocketed. But the situation in which there's
they just do digital now, since
they don't. They make so little. They unfortunately, because of just how distribution is, they don't make a lot of money off new games. They make more money off used games. So having retro games or having a situation where it's like you're gonna have people walking in because there's gonna be games that it's so hard to get fucking access to. Ganja was having trouble getting access to one of the Godfather games. Imagine if they had that in store. That's a customer that's walking into GameStop right now. Maybe Ganja ends up fucking pre-ordering a Death Stranding or some shit. It's like you have a reason to get people in there, and you need that niche market because they're already doing that with the Funko Pops and all the other gaming merchandise. They're making it easier for you to buy something in store than going online and getting it because they have so much of the game merch, like game bags, shirts, all that jazz. Whereas like most of the time you can only get that by Amazon or specialty websites. Having it in store is a reason to get people in. They're just doubling down on it. Makes okay, we need more people. We need more reasons for people to walk in.
All right, but they'll actually have to have those games that they're walking in there for. So, I mean, I guess you gotta get lucky then, because I mean, it is easier just to like get that game straight to Amazon, just wait for it to be delivered to your door in 2 days.
But some people would be like, well, I can wait 2 days or drive 20 minutes to a GameStop. It's like, honestly, there's a situation where it's like, hey, if I can, even if it's like a few dollars more expensive, I'll go to a Walmart versus getting it on Amazon if I can get it that same day.
And the reason why I even bring this up to bring this up is it's like, I want GameStop to do well because digital is fucking killing me right now. Like, I literally went through some shit with Gears of War 4, just trying to fucking download this shit the other day. My computer constantly freezing because I have programs that are keeping me from doing it. I had to re-download the shit, so now I gotta spend extra money for my bandwidth with my cable company because, downloading these games or doing these updates. I had to do 12 gigabytes of updates from 3 fucking games, which is Black Ops 4, Overwatch, Fortnite, and like one other game. I'm like, wow, I can't even fucking play, and I'm paying for them to update the shit that I won't be able to have enough time to fucking play. I'm just paying because I have this obligatory fucking like addiction to just having this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's awful. I wish I had physical media, and it's like, if GameStop does well, man, I would support them so much. Like, I don't give a fuck what I gotta do. I'll sing the praises of GameStop every day because I think as gamers, we need GameStop, man. I don't think if we don't have GameStop, we're kind of like, I don't know, I guess like held like captive by our company.
Nah, man, because you're forgetting like the dark times of the reason people started hating GameStop is because GameStop was the only place in town to do stuff. So they started taking advantage of people. They started trying to nickel and dime every single thing they can to get people to basically like that whole thing of, do you want to buy extended warranty? Do you want to do this? You want to do this? Like, no, please, for the love of God, let me just get what I want and leave. That's why people started hating GameStop. And as soon as another more convenient service came up, they jumped on it. Like, for me, it's like I still buy stuff like GameStop, but like it became so much of a hassle and in some cases way more expensive to actually buy the game than it was to get it digitally. So that's why I stopped going there. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where it's like there's no real benefit to me getting games from the GameStop I have. There are other places, but either on PC or on PS4, that make my life a lot more easier. You unfortunately have to deal with a fucked up situation that happens on PC because the Windows Store is a garbage fucking store. I had that same problem happen to me with Quantum Break. I called them up and said, why is this happening? Like, oh, we don't know. It's like, okay, give me my money back. They're like, okay, sure. They gave me my money back. I deleted that, and I never bought another game off the Windows Store ever again because that storefront is garbage. I buy everything either off Steam or other fucking places.
The only way you can find it out is if they already fucked you. That's the problem. Is like, I wish I would have known you when I got the game. I would have loved to have Alan say, don't do it, whatever. I never did. All
Okay,
I know
but I can
is
tell you
that-
this now: Gears of War 5 is on Steam. Get it. It's gonna be on Steam. Release date. Get it on Steam.
Yeah, okay, then yeah, absolutely. And by the way, anyone watching, seriously, like I know that sometimes we disagree, and all of us are telling you guys that your favorite shit sucks, whatever. But we're telling you seriously, as friends, do not
Don't
download
ever
shit off
buy
Windows Store.
anything off the Windows Store.
It literally it costs more money, even if you get something that's like half off. You spend so much time using up all your bandwidth that you will at the end pay more than you would just getting this fucking like on a digital
Well,
disc.
you know what? What if I want to buy something off the Windows Store?
Honestly, the free apps don't tend to fuck up as much, and they're usually not 150 fucking gigs like Gears 4 is. And the thing is, like, yeah, you have that constant download cycle that doesn't want to seem to want to fix, and there's also no way to really throttle your speed. So if you're in a situation where I live, where it's like I have to make sure if I have to make sure my internet's not being sucked up by one device, so I have to throttle all my speeds. It doesn't let you do that, so there's almost no user interface. And if it fucks up, it's going to be a constant downside. I downloaded a 40 gig game, 120 gigs, because it just was a constant download cycle. I've never had that problem in any other. I've used Origin, I've used Uplay, I've used the Epic Store, which is right now people say it's the worst. Like, no, it's not nearly as bad as the fucking Windows Store. Like, honestly, even if you had to wait a couple months or in some cases a year, do never get anything off the fucking Windows Store. Get it on Steam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again, what if I want to get something off the Windows Store?
Then if you have a problem, I fucking warned you.
Hey, I got pretty much State of Decay 2 on the Windows Store, but that was the only one that worked.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. But you got that for me though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe just
That's
Windows Store
funny.
doesn't like Canadians. I was like Canadians.
Canadian.
Shit.
It does sometimes vary per game, but like, and then sometimes it'll just fuck up. But it's like Windows Store is legit the worst store out there.
Before we go, just so we can throw one last punch at everything, Josh in the chat saying, what other games have you bought that you didn't like, Nick? Because you're talking about Anthem.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is just me and your time. We'll do this really fast. Do you want to go ahead and name the shitty games just from 2019? Just from
Oh, yeah.
2019. Go ahead.
That I didn't like.
Yeah, that you didn't like. Because everything that you didn't like, by the way, I'm right there with you. There's games that you do like that I fucking hated too. But just from this year, you got Mortal Kombat 11, which was garbage. Something that I was super hyped for. Anthem I was super hyped for. Pre-ordered that. I pre-ordered most of the games that are on your list right now. But goddamn Anthem, holy shit, you know. And I still kind of like it in comparison. But how about you? What are some games that you?
Well, this year, oh god, this year's been honestly every game I'm anticipating that's coming out soon. I'm glad it's coming out next year because this year's been honestly disappointing as fuck for me. The number one I'm gonna go to is Metro Exodus, which I was so hyped because I love the first two Metro games, and then this comes out, I'm like, oh, this is a garbage ass fucking game. And then Rage, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for this. That really looked good. This was kind of disappointing. Fucking Far Cry New Dawn was a boring pile of garbage. And I think that's except for Kingdom Hearts, which I just refused to play at the second one. I think that's Kingdom Hearts 2 sucks. I just hated every single major. I played almost every major release this year. Like Devil May Cry was fine, but like honestly, the bigger ones would have to be Rage 2 and Metro. I'm like, these were just so disappointing.
And just games that I played in the last 365 days. I mean, God of War. He said that was good. I hated it absolutely. So linear. Just empty, and then just hitting the same button over and over again. Which another thing, Spider-Man, exact same issues. Granted, I don't think it's linear. One thing I'll give Spider-Man is that let's just say I was bored and we were just talking out and I wanted to play a game. I think right now, even like seriously, right now, I would put it on just to play it, just to.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I picked it up recently just because they added a bunch of new suits. So I was trying them out, and it's like the God of War is linear as hell, but I fucking love that game because it's showcasing It's one of those things where I fucking hate Telltale games because I feel like the choices don't matter. And it's just, hey, have 4 or 5 dialogue options that in some cases don't actually matter. And who gives a fuck? Because we already have a preconceived notion. God of War doesn't sit there and pretend to give you a choice or a narrative. It gives you a fucking interesting ass story and that you're playing a part of. And your reward is seeing more of the story. And I fucking loved it. Had a great fucking time with it.
That's what.
And now God's gonna say it's so cinematic.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say because you know
Coming from the
in your
fucking
heart
RTS
it's truth. It's truth. That's
It's
why
not
you
truth.
say
You're just a
it.
hater.
That's why you already know.
Go click a few buttons on Hearts of Iron.
Because there's truth.
Go
in
make
there,
some more
son.
troops in Hearts of Iron.
You damn right will, because that game has a lot more going on than just
No,
sweet.
it doesn't. It just has a bunch of news articles.
The lies in this hoe. But when it comes to something that I've really just was disappointed in, it was Red Dead 2.
Me
I
too.
did not find it fun at all. The multiplayer was a huge disappointment. I thought it would be much more grandiose, especially with the way they pulled off the Grand Theft Auto 5 online play. But what can you expect? Rockstar, you better make it up to me with the next fucking Grand Theft Auto series because I know you guys like to test shit with the new old games.
And here's
and
the
also,
thing, like.
because cross for Bully 2.
And, well, another thing to bring up as well is that there's a big difference between made good and just was good. Like when people say it was good, it's like, well, at this point, there's been so many layers to every single game that's coming out. What do you mean by it's good? Like for instance, Bloodstained, I would never recommend to anybody else. I fucking love Bloodstained. That game is fucking great. Red Dead Redemption 2 is so perfectly made, but it's a Western. So like, have you guys ever wanted to like, man, I want to play a game, so let me sit on this horse and hold X for 30 fucking minutes straight. I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather walk to the store in real life. I'd rather just walk, just go see the fucking sun today.
Take my own horse down Old Town
Oh,
Road.
no, I loved, like, I mean, yeah, sometimes the distance is wrong, but it's like something that always bothered me. It's like, yeah, you know, Witcher 3 did a big open world, right? That's set in a medieval time, and they had little bandit caps and little like, you know, monster dens and little things sprinkled throughout the world so that your ride wasn't as boring. But it's like, I love fucking Red Dead 2. I had a great time with it. I felt that the realism and the movement and the horses and the shooting made the game a lot of fucking fun. And I had a great time that it was a down to earth. It didn't feel like it was like, oh, we're gonna sit here and like affect the whole world. Like, no, we're just telling a story about a bunch of people trying to survive. I'm like, I had a great fucking time with that game.
Another game to the brain that was good. He actually brought it up. Devil May Cry 5. Yeah, Josh, you're right. Devil May Cry 5 was great. Fucking I don't know. There's so many stuff. I mean, I can talk up the fucking storm, and I won't. But yeah, Apex Legends is fine too. There's lots of stuff that's out there that I would recommend you play. But it's just like, for the most part, man, I think I've wasted about $200 on shit I don't like. Like, I mean, literally 200, and that's a lot of stuff I can buy. Lots of food, you know. And
yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good indication of what I like and what I don't like. I can generally watch gameplay and be like, yes, I like that, or no, I won't like that. This year has been I've been so off by everything. Because DMC, I was like, I ain't gonna like this, and then I ended up really enjoying it. And Mitchell's like, I'm gonna love this, and I hate it. I'm like, this year has just been so off for me. I'm like, I really hope Outer Lands is interesting. I doubt I'm gonna like Borderlands because I'm not a huge fan of that series. And whatever the fuck's coming out, I feel like there's a bunch of stuff coming in November, but I can't remember. But it's like, I hope this year really makes up because there has not been a solid like this is game of the year. Like by this point, I already picked my game of the year. Last year, God of War came out, and that was my game of the year when I fucking played it in March, and I stand by it to this fucking day. Now I have not picked my game of the year. I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to put on that list.
And Jay, I'm gonna ask you: is there anything? And I'll even extend it. Last 2 years, is there any games that you really were like, okay, you know what? This is the fucking shit. This is amazing.
2 years? Well, obviously, but obviously I have to go to Monster Hunter.
There we go. I just wanted to bring that up.
Trash.
The thing is, like, you were talking about like underwhelming games and shit like that. The thing is, I don't really get underwhelmed by games that much. And the ones that, like, technically, like, I get really mad at, they're usually given to me for free, like on like PlayStation or Xbox or like even on Steam or something like that. So it's just like, can I really be that mad about this? I got it free, so it doesn't really bother me that much. Even though I don't even know how you guys like have money to keep buying these games that you guys don't like, because you guys are like fucking ATM fucking machines or some shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I plan every purchase out, and it's like this year is the first year in like 4 years that I've been disappointed by every release. Like last year, I was fucking every game that came out last year was a fucking firebomb for me. Like I loved everything that came out last year. This year, it's like fuck. I'm struggling to find something.
Yeah, but we're gonna get going. And one more thing, he did say Resident Evil 2, and no, that was underwhelming as fuck, unfortunately.
Oh,
and that was one.
Oh yeah, that was the other game I forgot. I fucking hated Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, and here's the thing: everyone forgets about it because it was cool for a week. It was like, this is the best thing ever for a week, and it was like, oh, I just really wanted it to come out. It's actually shitty, you know. But yeah, anyways, we'll get the fuck on. I know it's been a long show, and we've just been kind of rambling a lot. Sorry, but I actually prefer when we're just chilling and just talking shit. So it is what it is. But Alan, what you do when you're not over here is you don't just chill. You actually do lots of reviewing stuff, lots of being professional, way more professional than we are. Where can you find that professionalism, sir?
Yes, if you go to oneofus.net and go to the Screener Squad, you'll see all sorts of stuff. We just did a review that came out for Bodyguard. There's another movie where we reviewed Iron Sky 2. Yeah, they made a sequel to Iron Sky.
When's the review for Bodyguard?
Anyway, so we did Point Blank. I don't know if I said Bodyguard by accident, but we did Point Blank, and then we did Iron Sky, which should be coming out soon. We also did Eye and the Pride's actually starting, so it's the Emmy and Oscar countdown. And we did an episode where we went through all of the we went through as many categories as we could. It's a longer episode, but be sure to check it out. Screener Squad. We went through all of the we went through a bunch of categories. Who do you think's gonna win Best Actor, Drama, all that jazz. So be sure that's oneofus.net. And just honestly, Control F my name. I'm usually on most stuff there.
No shit. Yeah, I should probably do that one of these days when we actually bring that up. It's just Control F.
Dang, Alan got real important there. Just Control F me. You'll find me.
Yeah, just control fuck me. Just fuck me and
honestly
control me.
like 80% of the shit's there that I'm a part of. It's like I just don't join every movie because some of them suck.
You
Ganja.
probably don't even have to use it. You can just scroll down and just find me. I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere, brother. I got it.
We're gonna call it Alan.
I got people all around this place, bro.
Wait, Alan, Ganja,
Hi.
where the fuck is that second episode of this shit?
I'm working on it. I swear to you.
No, you're
Yeah, him
not.
and Julian Green are gonna do it together.
Documentary. I'm writing it. I'm all the way to the 70s and now and going towards the current time. And then I'm going to work on some shit from the ancient time. But what we're talking about is some history with Ganja Guru, where I talk about history, talk about all kinds of things that I like in it, talk about some things that you guys might not know, some alternative facts, and some alternative news that you guys don't know about. So check that out. So history,
You just use the word alternative facts.
No, I just did because I'm having fun with it right now. Because Nick always makes fun of me for not being able to say shit properly.
It's all
So
good.
make sure to check out Civilización with Ganja Guru. It's a really good episode. It's on the Metropolis Collective Network. Go learn something and have fun. And go check out ARPG Gaming. They're also pretty good podcasts themselves. I'm also on the Illuminati Podcast, which I did mention. That is on alittlefireburn.com. Make sure to go check that. We have a new episode recently. We had the great Christian come on. We debate all type of liberals policies. We debate about the Democratic primaries. Just pretty good old conversation. Make sure
Oh man, they used my Photoshop. Nice.
You did right, they did. So make sure to go check out the Illuminati Podcast.
Oh, yes. And Jet Jackson,
Hello.
where can they find you?
Anyway, you can find me on the Book of Faces. As you know, my name on here, Jet Jackson, because I refuse to use my real name. Anyway,
Wait,
also ignoring all that. So I got a question for you guys in the chat. Would you guys be interested in Nick Diaz playing, and probably most of us playing Leisure Suit
No!
Larry?
What? Yeah, no, I'm with Alan on this.
Listen.
No.
It's a stupid ass, funny ass game with hot chicks. Like, I'm pretty sure most of you guys would actually want to see hot chicks.
It's incredibly misogynistic. And it sucked back then.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. No one said you can't make fun of it.
All right,
Why is the woman
Jet-
asking us to play an incredibly misogynistic game like
Jay,
that?
you know what? How about
It was
this?
stupid.
I told you not to bring it up.
Too bad. I did.
So
Aw,
we go
that's
from wanting to not play a misogynistic game that exploits women, and in order for you to defend it, you're using a situation where a guy hits a woman.
Yep.
Okay, listen. It's not a guy who
This
hits
is where we're at.
It's
This
like
is the world.
boy hits a girl. It's a difference. Stupid.
Is there?
Also,
Yes.
I would say, like, think of it as the Johnny Bravo situation with that game.
No.
Yeah, but Johnny Bravo was
Oh,
funny.
I can't wait. By the way, in 3 fucking years, when goddamn no, Gary's like, do it, Nick. Just do it. Yes, just do it.
Yes.
Oh, Alan, I like this voice.
Please
Oh,
stop.
Wipe my ass, boy. Wipe my ass, boy.
Gary's saying do it.
I know.
No,
he
he's
said-
doing diet.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying to call me fat. Just diet already, you fat fuck. Anyway.
You chunky motherfucker.
Anyway.
I mean, that's you. No one knows what you look like for the most part. You can easily just say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, he's actually got a 6-pack.
Well, by the way, he could have
Exactly.
easily been talking about you, Alan. I don't know what the fuck Gary's talking about.
He literally just said, "Do it, Nick." So
Oh, shit. Anyways, we're getting the fuck out of here, guys. Make sure to message Jed about how much he's wrong about most of the things we talked about today. That's always great, especially with Alan. Me and Ganja are the Choco Brothers, so we got each other's back. It's all good.
Bitch.
Leisure Suit. He actually says it's do it, you fat fuck. Anyways, also too, gonna be doing some stuff tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna do Leisure Suit. How you say it?
Who cares?
Suit Larry. Yeah, probably not gonna do it tomorrow, but maybe sometime this weekend if it's actually good. I'm gonna look at some gameplay because that sounds ridiculous, to be honest. With that said, Ganja Guru, I know you've been
And
waiting
we
for
can
me
see
to
how
say
good
this.
you are at quick time events.
Oh, poor.
Yeah, that
We
sounds
saw him in
great.
Tetris. He's terrible at him.
That was your fault, bitch. Anyway, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Ganja, I know you've been
All
wanting to do
right,
this all night. 3, 2, attack the Dane chat, I won, bitch.
You guys are terrible at countdowns.
So anyway, looks like we're playing it.
No, we're not.
We're not.
Literally, no
We
one.
are.
Gary
No one
doesn't
even
tell me what the fuck
joined
to
you.
do. Fuck Gary. Fuck you, Gary. I know you want
Gary's
to,
the only
bitch.
one that counts.
I'll knock you out, Gary. What then? What then? Wipe your ass, boy. Wipe it. Empty them cheeks.
Empty them. Put them all in the bag,
I'm sorry
goddammit.
about this, Alan. I'm so sorry.
I hate
All
all
the
you.
cheeks